Hello, sweet kinders. Mr. Bubbles and I are here for more stories, and we're going to read 2 Easter stories today, and then one about the world being wet. So the first story is our Easter story about Corduroy. Corduroy's Easter Party. Corduroy's Easter Party. It was the day before Easter, and Corduroy and his friends were at the playground. Puppy was having no luck getting his kite up in the air, but he didn't mind. Everyone was happy because tomorrow they were having an Easter party. Dolly said, "I can't wait to see what the Easter Bunny brings us." The party was going to be at Corduroy's house. Mouse made a list of all the things they would need. "Do you think the Easter Bunny likes jelly beans?" Mouse asked. "Don't forget to put down eggs," Dolly said. "We need lots to decorate for the Easter Bunny." Corduroy didn't say anything. Everyone else had no doubt that the Easter Bunny was real, but deep down, Corduroy wasn't so sure. After all, nobody had ever seen the Easter Bunny. Still, Corduroy didn't want to spoil the fun. He kept his doubts to himself. By the time they were ready to go shopping, it was raining outside, so their friends put on their raincoats and their boots, and they brought their umbrellas. Mouse rode in the wagon. Rabbit caught raindrops on her tongue. Puppy jumped right in the middle of every single puddle. Kerr splash. Their first stop was at the general store. They bought everything they needed to dye Easter eggs. Mouse picked out a big bag of jelly beans, with plenty of red ones, because those were his favorites. Corduroy found some pretty colored Easter baskets, and he also found a funny bunny hat. Do you see it tucked away on the bottom shelf? "I'm the Easter Bunny," Corduroy said. "No, silly," said Mouse. "The real Easter Bunny will be here tomorrow, but let's all get party hats." And so they did. Dolly looked beautiful in her bonnet with flowers on the brim. Puppy and Rabbit picked out very silly hats. Puppy's looked like an Easter basket. Rabbit's had tiny chicks all over it. In a little while, the rain ended and the sun came out, so Corduroy and his friends walked to their next stop, the farm. They were having so much fun petting and saying hello to the animals that they almost forgot why they came. To buy eggs for decorating. Luckily, Dolly remembered. Now, did they have everything for their party? Not yet. On their way home, the friends passed a meadow filled with flowers. There were daffodils and tulips and daisies. So they all picked little flower bouquets to use as decorations for the party. Corduroy could hardly wait to see how pretty his house was going to be. Then Dolly and Rabbit hurried back to Corduroy's house with the party things, but Puppy was very thirsty from all the walking. So Corduroy and Mouse waited for him while he had a little drink. Mouse lay back and daydreamed in the sun. "I'm so excited about Easter," he said. "Me too," said Puppy. Corduroy was too. He wanted to believe in the Easter Bunny, just like everybody else. But how could he know for sure? Back at Corduroy's house, nobody could wait to start decorating eggs. They made pink ones, blue ones, ones with spots and stripes and swirls. When they were dry, Corduroy gathered up all the eggs and put them in a basket. It had been a very busy day, but now, finally, everything was ready for their Easter party the next day. It was the best party ever. They had cookies and finger sandwiches cut into tiny triangles and the most delicious fruit punch. Mouse ate so many red jelly beans, he almost got a tummy ache. Everybody wore their brand new hats. Dolly looked at Rabbit and giggled. "The chicks on your hat look so real. I wouldn't be surprised if they started peeping," she said. And what was the perfect dance to do at a Easter party? Why, the bunny hop, of course. Corduroy led the way, with his bunny ears flopping as he hopped up and down. Rabbit was a natural at the bunny hop. Mouse got tired because his legs were shorter, but Dolly helped him keep up. Bunny's hopping sure is a good exercise, said Mouse, all out of breath. Then it was time to go outside for the Easter egg hunt. Each of them hid a few eggs, and then the hunt began. Only one rule, said Corduroy, no fair finding the eggs that you hid yourself. Corduroy peeked into the flowers. He saw some eggs, but they weren't the Easter kind. They were pretty blue robin's eggs. After the hunt, everyone sat down on the grass and counted their eggs. What a perfect Easter, said Dolly. There's just one thing left. A visit from the Easter Bunny, said Rabbit. When do you think he'll come? Asked Mouse. Corduroy did not know what to say. Easter was just about over and still no sign of you-know-who. But look! When Corduroy and his friends went back inside, there was a big surprise. A huge Easter basket filled with all kinds of candy. Can you guess who it was from? Yes, it was from the Easter Bunny himself. He had come and gone while all his friends were outside, and he even left them a note. Have fun, your friend, the Easter Bunny. Wow, he was super sneaky. Look, do you see him in the window? As they all sat around the table eating the chocolate the Easter Bunny had left, Corduroy was so surprised and so happy. The Easter Bunny is real, he thought. Now he knew it for sure, and that was the best Easter surprise of all. Happy Easter, everybody. All right, this book is called The Night Before Easter by Natasha Wing and illustrated by Kathy Corey. The Night Before Easter. There's the title page. 'Twas the night before Easter, just before dawn, not a creature was stirring out on the lawn. Our baskets were set on the table with care in hopes that the Easter Bunny soon would be there. Sister and I were tucked snug in our beds while visions of jelly beans danced in our heads. Then out in the barn, the hens made such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter, when what to my curious eyes should appear but a big fuzzy rabbit with a crook in his ear. A crook means a bend. He has a bend in his ear. He walked on two legs, which I thought was quite funny. No rabbit could do that, except the Easter Bunny. He sniffed at a pansy, a tulip, a rose, jumped over a shovel, a rake, and a hose. Then up to our house in just a few hops, he came bearing chocolates and striped lollipops. And as I sat on the stairs, not making a sound, that swift, dapper bunny sprang in with a bound. His soft fur was spotless from his head to his toe. His vest was all checkered, his tie in a bow. His eyes, how they sparkled, his whiskers, how merry. His tail was like cotton, his nose like a berry. He made not a sound, but went straight to his treasure, filled up our baskets, adding more for good measure. Chocolate and chicks and candy galore spilled from our baskets and onto the floor. And just when I thought that the bunny was done, he picked up some eggs, looking over each one. He carefully hid them on couches and chairs, the mantel, the bookshelf, and under the stairs. When our rooster crowed, he turned with a start. He wiggled his nose, then went to his cart. He sprang from the house with a single bound and bounced down the street without making a sound. I read his note as he hopped away. Happy Easter to all, and to all a great day. All right, our last book tonight, Kinders, is Wet World. This book is by Norma Simon, and it's illustrated by Alexei Natchev. Look at the umbrellas. Aren't they beautiful? It looks like we're looking from above down at the umbrellas, and then there's the sidewalk, like you're looking from an airplane. Wet world. A wet world waited when I woke up this morning. Wet windows, wet trees, wet leaves, wet grass, wet street, wet rooftops. Wet world. A warm breakfast waited when I went down the stairs. Warm toast, warm cereal, warm cocoa, warm tummy. A stiff raincoat slipped on my stiff arms, shiny high boots over my shiny shoes. Hat, coat, boots, out to the wet world. I walked on the wet world, wet ground pulls my boots, wet sidewalk splashes my boots, wet rain sprinkles my hat, wet raindrops, rain drips down my coat. She's looking at the rain. Wet cars swish down my road, windshield wipers wipe the wet. Wish, 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 wish away the wet. Wet puddles cover wet boots, dry feet in wet boots, dry arms in wet coat, dry head in wet hat, dry me, wet world. She's nice and dry with those clothes on. The raincoat and a rain hat. A warm world waited when I went home. Warm mother, warm father, warm stove. A wet world waited outside my window. A warm bed waited inside my room. So it's wet outside, but inside her room it's nice and dry and warm. A warm kiss kissed me, and now I'm in bed. I wonder what world will wait in the morning. I wonder if it'll be wet again or sunny. She'll have to wait and see. Good night, wet world. And there's those umbrellas again. All right. Good night, wet world. Good night, kinders. Sleep well tonight, all tucked in your beds. Hugs to you as you rest, and I'll see you next time.